One game for the Badgers this week, an uphill fight as they trailed by as many as 15 points early in the second half. Chipped away and eventually forced overtime. But from there, Villanova took control en route to a 76-66 win. Nolan Winter did all he could, a career-high 23 points. He added 11 rebounds for his sixth double-double of the season. We'll check in with some of the Badgers after Friday night's game at Fiserv Forum. Talk a little volleyball. An incredible season came to an unfortunate end in the national semifinals for Kelly Sheffield and the Wisconsin Badgers, falling to Kentucky in a 5-set thriller. And we'll also have a conversation with Badger basketball freshman Will Garlock, as well as our weekly sit-down with head coach Gard. Andrew Rohde on the right side, feeds Rapp, rotates Boyd, gets it into Rapp, mid-post left, out to Winter for three straight on, good again. Couple of triples in the first half for Nolan Winter. Bielauskas feeds Janicki on the left side. Jack curls off the screen, throws to Bielauskas. Left block, backing on Brennan. Bielauskas pivots, throws it out to Rohde. Deep three on the right side is good.
And a much-needed three.
Works baseline, shot clock at 5. Out to Nolan, open three left side, money. Nolan Winter with his third three of the game. It's off the rim, no good. Rebound tipped into the hands of Nick Boyd. Boyd on the run, to the line, down the lane, to the rim. Layup is good. So a missed three from Lindsay turns into a bucket at the other end for Nick Boyd. Drives by Perkins in the lane, runs it back out to Bielauskas. Inside Winter, floats it up. Oh, missed it short. Rebound. Hodge had it, threw it right to Winter, who lays it in. We're tied at 56.
I know that we got more in the tank, and I know what it means for us to wear Wisconsin across our chest and to go out there and not show the effort that the state of Wisconsin deserves, the program deserves for the first 20 minutes. So, you know, like Coach said, the second 20 minutes, I think we played a lot better as a team, and we came together and we fought, but it needs to be a full 40.
Set the standard, let's go.
Nice bounce, Rapp left lane line, out to Blackwell, stamps off a three, right pocket, book it.
Scores! Badgers win it in overtime!
Wisconsin Badgers have won the Frozen Forum Championship. The Badgers advance to the Sweet 16. Off the backboard for two from Destiny Howell.
The Badger Sports Report is presented by UW Health and is brought to you by Hy-Vee and by Construction Business Group, by Gruber Law Offices, and by WEA Member Benefits.
Have you heard people say women's sports are having a moment?
It's not a moment.
Moments are fleeting. They come and they go.
This isn't just a moment.
But success is nothing new at Wisconsin.
History in Wisconsin.
There's a history here.
Age championship.
So let's celebrate women's sports for what it really is.
It's not a moment.
It's not a moment.
It's a movement.
And you're invited to come along for the ride.
UW Health, proud title sponsor of Badger Women's Sports.
Clear your path to a great career today. Climb to reach your career potential with no loans and no debt, so you can earn while you learn. A Wisconsin Operating Engineer's Apprenticeship is your opportunity to work outdoors and get heavy equipment experience. Partner with your employer for serious pay, great health and pension benefits. Acquire real-world experience while building Wisconsin together. To start your career journey, visit join139.com today.
At Gruber Law Offices, we take great pride in helping those who have trusted us after a serious accident. Our team has the knowledge, resources, and experience to get you the results you deserve. Don't wait to get the help you need. Make the right call. Call Gruber Law Offices today, proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. one call, that's all.
It was a heartbreaking end of the season for the Wisconsin Badgers volleyball team in the national semifinal against Kentucky in Kansas City. After dominating in the first set, the Badgers would take a 2-1 lead in this best of 5, only to lose by 2 points in extra points in the fourth and fall in 5 sets once again by 2 points as the Badgers season comes to a close. 12-point Wisconsin advantage, set point in the first. Simon, good serve at Hudson from her knees, the pass to O'Brien. The set goes to Delay, pushed back by the Badgers defense, but kept off the floor. Delay off speed, right there is Una in the back row. Slide, Booth, of course, down the line. 1 set down, 2 to go. Wisconsin routs Kentucky in the first, 25-12. You know, there still hasn't been an ace tonight. Neither team with an ace. Here comes Simon. Zone 1, handled by Tuzzo. In pocket O'Brien, middle Carr. Dug by Simon. A swing by Vajagic, good. Una Vajagic drills one cross court. Kentucky second match point. Wisconsin down by 2. They need it. Collier serving short, handled by the Wildcats to the left. Hudson kept alive by Simon. Furbringer sets it. The pipe. Collier drops it down. Wisconsin to within 1 with the Badgers down by 1. 14-13. Collier to the left back at Hudson. O'Brien from the back row. Back to Hudson, left side. Tools the block. Kentucky wins it in 5. And Wisconsin's season ends in the Final Four.
Frankly, just heartbroken for our seniors. I know how hard they've worked, and for Carter specifically, who's been here for so long and wants this so bad, and to not finish on top sucks. But I guess I'm just really proud of this group for sticking together throughout this whole season and dealing with all the adversity that we did.
Yeah, I think any game, like when it's your season's on the line, it's always tough at the end there. I think what hurts the most is just like this team, that it's finally over with this team, because it's so special playing with these girls, and any opportunity to get another game is something special.
Just the dream team, the dream season, like these girls, there's just like, I've said it over and over, just the amount of love that we have for each other. Like you won't find a group of girls that love each other more than we love each other. And there's just, it's been nothing short of amazing. And I can go on and on about it and how just it was like the best decision. And I knew, again, when I tell my transfer story on my call with Kelly, I'm like, oh, like this is a vibe. Like we chit-chatted for 15 minutes and I was like, I like it. This is going to be good. And, you know, that vibe turned out to be a good one. Like, we're little besties. We're not. But, yeah, it's been nothing short of incredible, and I couldn't have asked for a better way to go out.
I do not look at this as a failure. This is one of the most successful seasons that I've ever been a part of. You can hurt, but also be proud. Our seniors had a heck of a match. Our younger kids played with courage. They learned what courage was, and this team came together and grew. I couldn't be more proud of them.
Wisconsin ends its season in its 7th Final Four in program history. The Badgers end the year with a 28-5 overall record. I'm Jon Arias for the Badger Sports Report from Kansas City.
We believe in education. We believe in public schools. At WEA Member Benefits, we believe in helping Wisconsin public school employees and their families achieve their financial goals by providing personal insurance, retirement and investment, and financial planning programs that are designed specifically for the education community. Proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics, WEAbenefits.com.
Your animals depend on you every day. So we build equipment you can depend on every day. Equipment that powers through mud, dust, and extreme weather. So cutting hay, feeding livestock, and managing land is easier. Loaded with intuitive, innovative features and tech, Case IH equipment isn't just built to work. It's built to work for livestock producers. Case IH, built by farmers.
On Monday night, the Badgers will play Central Michigan. The following day, December 23rd, will mark the 10-year anniversary of Greg Gard as a head coach of the Wisconsin Badgers. December 23rd, 2015, when the Badgers played Green Bay, what turned into a pretty interesting game. But 10 years later, and a whole lot of wins, Big Ten championships, Coach of the Year awards, regular occurrences into the NCAA tournament. I know we talked in your radio show that a lot of ways it has gone fast, the ups and downs of being a coach. But if it's gone fast for the most part, that means it's been pretty good, which more than 200 wins would suggest it's been pretty good.
Yeah, I think, obviously you never know walking into it, and we walked into obviously a much different time than what we are in right now in terms of college athletics. But I think at the true core of it, Matt, it's still about the teaching and helping players get better and the learning component. And that's as much as everything else has changed around our world, that component has stayed the same. And obviously that group, we were able to get that season back on track and obviously have finished out with a really good year. But it does seem, some days it seems like yesterday, and some days it seems like 20 years ago.
You were announced on December 15th, so you had, like a week and change to get ready for that first game. Do you remember how you felt when you were walking onto the floor? Because you got a big-time ovation. You're playing Green Bay, an in-state team. What was going through your mind that night?
A lot. I know. You try to compartmentalize as much as possible, just focus on the things that you could control and not get caught up in the emotions of it. I know it was very emotional for a lot of people for a lot of reasons, and just you're focused on the game. And I think that's one thing that, for good or for bad, I've not allowed myself to kind of soak in the ambiance, so to speak, or the environment. When I walk out, I'm typically locked in on, all right, let's go find the opposing head coach, and then let's get the national anthem done, the starting lineups, and let's go play. And you really keep yourself streamlined on those things, because that's what's most important as we walk in.
You always talk about, coaches always talk about the difference between being the assistant coach to moving over one chair, but it's a small fraternity who really knows what that's like. Right. You're a part of that. Everything that people have said, like the difference from offering the suggestions to being the decision maker.
Yeah, you had a lot of great answers when you were an assistant. Yeah, right. It is. It's a long ways away, even though it's one chair over. And it's a very lonely position at times. I remember after that first game, I actually talked to Coach Ryan the next day. And he said, for all these years, I always looked for that trap door in the floor when things weren't going well. Could I disappear? Because he goes, everybody was looking at you, right? And I said, yeah, it felt like it. He goes, yeah, I've tried to climb underneath the floor a few times.
I can only try to imagine that feeling. They say a lot as players that the more experience you get, the game slows down. Is it a similar thing for a head coach?
Absolutely, yeah. I can't imagine how bad I was back there then as a coach. I mean, just the things that were going through your mind. And I think what you really realize is you don't have as much control as you think you do. You think you want to script everything and you can control everything, control outcomes. No, you can't. It's really in the preparation and the practice, and then obviously it's a player's game.
As much as we've talked about how things have changed, a lot has still, thankfully, stayed the same. Players like to be coached. Players like to be pushed, at least the players through here.
Right.
So that part, I think, probably gives you guys great joy.
It does, and I think still, as I've said many times, I always heard former head coaches talk about what was their favorite time or favorite part of the day, and or of the job, and they always say practice, and I'm like, what are you talking about, practice? Like, not doing my Allen Iverson invitation here, but why not the games? Why not the glitz and the glamour, so to speak? And now I know why. I mean, that's the one thing that has stayed the same. You got to go in that practice gym and help a team get better.
Even you both said that long before NIL and the portal. I remember talking to him before the first practice, and he talked about what a great day it is. One of his favorite days of the year.
Right.
When you get, as a head coach, you have to do a lot of things besides coaching, drawing up plays. But once you step between the lines, maybe it all comes back. This is what I got into this for.
Exactly. It comes back to the why. It really does. And as much, like I said, that outside of that practice court and that preparation and that teaching, everything else has pretty much changed in terms of how we operate. Obviously, the NIL and the portal and just how our landscape, but that is the one thing, thankfully, has stayed the same, that teaching and coaching still really matter.
I know you always talk about, too, the strength of your staff. You've had a lot of good assistants, and your group right now is outstanding. I mean, guys who played and now are working alongside you as coaches. It's a pretty good group, isn't it?
It is, and I think that's the other thing. They understand the why, and their why is about the same things, and they have great appreciation. When you come through as a player, maybe you don't realize or understand the hows and the whys until you get that career in your rearview mirror, so to speak, of life, and then you get a chance to come back and impact, the people that are walking behind you. I think those guys, specifically the 4 that played here, that's really important, and they're invested. It really means something to wear this W, and they understand how important that is to, obviously, this university, our department, our program, the state, our fans everywhere, and they take great pride in that.
Brad was always very open about his desire to be a coach, even as a player. What about Sharif and Greg and Joe? Did you get that sense, even as players, that someday they could coach?
Joe, yes. Sharif and Greg, no. I thought maybe Sharif might be. He could sell anything. He could sell ice cubes to Eskimos. It's he could do anything he wanted to because he's got a great personality and just super energetic. I think Greg, like everybody in life, you go through different phases and figure things out as you go. And I think his revelation, so to speak, as he got done playing, he wanted to be this great real estate agent, going to make millions in real estate. And he learned that not too long after hanging up the shoes, he really missed basketball. And how could he go back and impact and be involved? And obviously that kind of kick-started his thinking of what he wanted to do in his career. And, his playing career evolved in a different way. He went overseas first, then finished in the NBA kind of differently. And we all kind of come to what is our driving focus and desires to be at different times. And he obviously found what he really loves doing and is really good at.
Yeah, it's one of those lines in baseball. It applies in basketball. You spend all that time gripping a basketball or a baseball, but you realize the ball grips you. And I think that's what had these guys back. We'll take a break. More to come as we continue with the Badgers Sports Report.
Have you heard people say women's sports are having a moment?
It's not a moment.
Moments are fleeting.
They come and they go.
This isn't just a moment.
But success is nothing new at Wisconsin.
History in Wisconsin.
There's a history here.
Age championship.
So let's celebrate women's sports for what it really is.
It's not a moment.
It's not a moment.
It's a movement.
And you're invited to come along for the ride.
UW Health, proud title sponsor of Badger Women's Sports.
Clear your path to a great career today. Climb to reach your career potential with no loans and no debt, so you can earn while you learn. A Wisconsin Operating Engineer's Apprenticeship is your opportunity to work outdoors and get heavy equipment experience. Partner with your employer for serious pay, great health and pension benefits. Acquire real-world experience while building Wisconsin together. To start your career journey, visit join139.com today.
Time to check in with one of the new faces on the Wisconsin basketball team. Didn't have to go far from Middleton, Wisconsin to the University of Wisconsin as we check in with Will Garlock. As we speak, it's still fairly early in the season, but this time last year you weren't on the floor yet. Your senior year at Middleton, coming back from the leg injury. Well, give us a sense of what that was like for you, just getting yourself healed, getting yourself in condition to end up playing after the holidays at Middleton High School last year.
Yeah, so I think going into my junior year of high school and a junior year, I broke my ankle, AAU. And yeah, the process was really long to get back. I thought I was going to get back a lot sooner than I was. And then there was some, relapses and stuff like that came with it. So I didn't get back on the court till, like you said, like January. So, just being able to rehab, I had really good doctors with me, really good physical therapists. And, they really got me back up to shape. I really got into good condition, and it was good to play the rest of my senior year.
So for this summer, obviously working out with the Badgers, but actually just doing basketball stuff instead of getting your ankle healthy, the difference had to be day and night, right? As you get ready for your freshman year here.
I mean, yeah, it was great. Getting on here, I still work with Brent and all the doctors here. Sometimes they check up on me how the ankle's doing, but it was just really good. Meeting a whole new group of guys, being able to kind of have almost like a fresh start. Start over with. Not being able to play my full senior year, so just kind of playing the summer, that led to in the fall, and it's been really, really good so far.
To be so close to home, give us an idea of what that was like, the recruiting process. I'm sure you had options, but for you to stay pretty close to home being a Badger, was that a pretty natural decision for you?
Yeah, I think you hit it right on the head. It was pretty natural for me. I feel like I always wanted to be a Badger growing up, 15 minutes away from campus. Growing up a Badger fan, I think every little kid wants to be a Badger or put the red and white on it sometime. So I think it was kind of just, a natural decision for me and a no-brainer to, come. And the coaching staff and the players really made it appealing for me, and that was really, really good for me.
So you weren't even 10 during the back-to-back Final Four runs.
Yeah.
Maybe you have some recollection of that, but what was the first Badger game you remember seeing, either on television or being here at the Kohl Center?
I want to say one that sticks out to me a lot is the game winner against Michigan, the half-court game winner. That game, that went back pretty far, but
Yes.
I think I saw that on TV. That sticks out with me. TV-wise, I can't really remember the first Badger game I went to. It's got to be. There's some pictures out there of me coming to the games. But yeah, that I think the Bronson Cannon game winner, that kind of reminds me. Obviously, that was in March Madness, but some of those big shots I can kind of remember. And then obviously just coming to a bunch of the games as they were recruiting me was kind of a dream come true.
So the half court, you're referring to the Ben Brush shot.
Ben Brush shot, yeah.
The tied it, sent it to overtime.
Yeah.
So that's a pretty famous shot.
Yeah.
So what's it been for you? What's it been like for you here? I mean, you're well put together. Obviously, the weight room is something that you seem to be familiar with coming here. You've got some bulk to you already as a freshman. But what was it like for you getting acclimated in the summer and obviously in the early portion of the season to being a Big Ten basketball player?
Yeah, I think coming in, I kind of just had the mindset of I didn't really have that many expectations on me to come in and play right away. I kind of just came in, tried to do my role, do what was best for the team, like you said, be in the weight room. I think I put on almost 20 pounds over the summer, so that was good help from Coach Snides and all the guys in the weight room that helped me. So just kind of be able to figure out what my role was and how I could help the team the best really was kind of the key factor for me. And I think rebound and defensive end, whatever that may be, whatever the coaches needed for me, I always took their advice. Coach Steamer really works with me a lot with all the bigs, so it's really good to learn from them.
When we think of a big guy, you're not just like in the old days, it would be sit on the block, catch, turn, score, which you could do, but you seem like you can distribute it too. Has that always been a part of your game?
I think that's kind of one of the things I take pride in the most, being able to find open teammates and rack up the assists when they're needed. So kind of in the offense we like to run, with two bigs on the floor. It's always good to look for those high lows and then backdoor cuts from the guards or whatever it may be. So to keep my head on a swivel and being able to find the open guys really helpful.
Have you had a welcome to college basketball moment yet, where you run into somebody who's been around a little bit and kind of that like, oh boy, I'm not at Middleton anymore?
I mean, I feel like probably the BYU game probably is one of the welcome to college moments. That was, we played 4 mid-major teams kind of at the Kohl Center and then jumped right into the Delta Center at the NBA arena, played one of maybe the number 1 pick in the NBA draft coming up this year. So, they're a really good put-together team. So I think maybe one of the just playing at that high level.
A side note to that game, anybody who watched it on television, that was they have the NBA Cup going on and the floor is different, and on television it looked pretty weird, but being on the floor, probably not that big a deal?
Right away, you kind of walk in there like, oh, it's purple. But I think as the game went on, you kind of don't really notice it as well. But yeah, it was definitely, kind of cool and neat to see, the court purple and being able to play on it. Just a really cool experience.
Final thought, Will, it's with as many newcomers, the number of freshmen and transfers, this program has always prided itself on guys doing stuff together. Just on the floor, off the floor. It seems like that's in play here. Is that something that's been evident? Like a pretty together group of guys.
Yeah, for sure. I think we brought in a lot of new guys, and obviously we have a lot of freshmen that came in as well. But I think that's what Wisconsin's really prided themselves on, is having that connection and that culture here. And that's kind of what made me come to Wisconsin. Is we really put together a group. The coaches know who to recruit and who's the best fit for the team. So it's been really, really good to meet all the new guys and build those relationships.
All right, he's Will Garlock. You're getting a good glimpse of him already this season, and much more to come. We'll take a break. More to come as we continue with the Badger Sports Report.
At Gruber Law Offices, we take great pride in helping those who have trusted us after a serious accident. Our team has the knowledge, resources, and experience to get you the results you deserve. Don't wait to get the help you need. Make the right call. Call Gruber Law Offices today, proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. One call, that's all.
The Badger Sports Report is presented by UW Health and is brought to you by Hy-Vee and by Construction Business Group, by Gruber Law Offices, and by WEA Member Benefits.
One game this week for the Wisconsin men's basketball team, hosting Central Michigan on Monday night at the Kohl Center, and then a little break for the holiday before hosting the Milwaukee Panthers on December 30th. We'll talk to you next week. Thanks for watching.
We believe in education. We believe in public schools. At WEA Member Benefits, we believe in helping Wisconsin public school employees and their families achieve their financial goals by providing personal insurance, retirement and investment, and financial planning programs that are designed specifically for the education community. Proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics, WEAbenefits.com.
Every farmer wants to up their uptime, so we purposefully designed our tractors and implements to keep you in the field. Tailored for your operation, Case IH tractors are intuitive to use, easy to maintain, packed with the latest tech, and backed by dealer support you can trust. Because Case IH equipment isn't just built to work, it's built to work for you. Case IH, built by farmers.
Have you heard people say women's sports are having a moment?
It's not a moment.
Moments are fleeting. They come and they go.
This isn't just a moment.
But success is nothing new at Wisconsin.
History in Wisconsin.
There's a history here.
Age championship.
So let's celebrate women's sports for what it really is.
It's not a moment.
It's not a moment.
It's a movement.
And you're invited to come along for the ride.
UW Health, proud title sponsor of Badger Women's Sports.